And we're live. Lisa Watkins, thank you for being the first one in this morning. Miss Goldie Robinson is in the building. Kaz Robinson is in the building. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra, special, big up, shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay at home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers. Shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the crossing guards. Shout out to the school teachers. Shout out to the construction workers. Shout out to the heavy equipment operators and the engineers and the secretaries. And shout out to the chefs in the kitchen. Shout out to the law enforcement personnel, medical field personnel. Shout out to whatever your job description is. Shout out to you. Shout out to the people them who have clean heart, clear conscience, and wish good for everybody else as much as you wish good for yourself. You're a good person. Shout out to you. Here we are on another morning, a beautiful morning. What is today? I don't even know what today's date is. Let me look. Let me make sure before I start saying. So today is Thursday, January 25th. We're almost through the first month of the year already. Time is flying by, right? January 25th is Thursday. I didn't know if it was Tuesday or Thursday or Wednesday or that's where I got mixed up at. And anyhow, we have a lot to talk about this morning with a little bit of time to talk about it. So I will just go right into it. Big up everybody that's tuning in. If I didn't call out your name, Virtuous Fire, Lulu Ridges, Purple Royal, Reggae Girl, Bento, Dorothy T. If I didn't call your name out, you don't know how it go already. Live through Erica TV. Big up yourself. Thank you for being here. And those who are on the way in and are not here yet. All right. I appreciate you being here. But let's go because we have to end at 9 and it is now 7:51. So this is what we have on the table this morning. Listen carefully. The Royals visit Jamaica. They show up at the Bob Marley movie premiere. It was actually Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. They showed up. I wanted to talk a little bit about them showing up for the Bob Marley premiere and some irony and stuff like that. If you want to get into that, that's one that's on the table. Um, Messa Silvera, Jollian Silvera, her husband, is arrested and charged for her murder. Yesterday, all throughout our comment section, the video we put up yesterday, all throughout our comment section, it was about 15 people that left and saying she got shot in her pum pum, so floor. Wicked boy. Every one of the 15 people I asked them, where did you get that information from? Not one of them replied back. Well, lie. One person replied back and said, I don't remember as where is some Jamaican channel, some guy that used to be a police officer, and I just clicked on it. All right. Suddenly you forgot where you got that type of information from, right? Check it. 15 people. Not one of them replied back and said where they got it from, which tells me something. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how what we do here can get out of control and get remixed, remastered, and resold back to us. So you have to be careful, right? We can talk about that. And then turning the narrative around. That's the third one. The turning the narrative around is there's a push right now for black people to blame themselves for chattel slavery, right? And I see a lot of black people are falling for it. Well, damn, we don't have nobody to blame. We did this to ourselves. So I have some educational explanation to put everybody on track so you have an understanding. That's the third one. The fourth one is the jurors are now hearing the secret recordings in the Beachy Stout trial, and it is pretty damning. Remember when the man said, him done so flow, him done, him done, him done. I think he has a point. I think he has a point. So those are what's on the table this morning. Talk to me. Talk to me nice. Tell me which one I start with while I sips my tea. 60 seconds. You know how it go already. Nobody is saying anything. Okay, that's 9, 10 seconds gone. We're at 50 seconds. All right, Dorothy T says Beachy. British Jamaican girl says jurors. Purple Royal says, Beachy, good morning. SouFLo, everyone. Pauline Graham, big up yourself. Beachy, 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 Beachy. Okay, it looks like it's going to be Beachy. Purple Royal says, Beachy. Pansy Slack Foster says Beachy. Sean Cassell says Beachy. Naturally Yours says Beachy. Mr. Article Dan, big up on yourself. All of you, I'm calling your name out, says Beachy. Virtuous Fire says Beachy. Banches says Beachy. Devin Piguel says Beachy. Sara Cayente, big up yourself. All the way from down under, says Jurors, which is Beachy. All right, good morning, Michelle Taylor. Thank you for being here. Miss Goldie Robinson says Beachy. Lisa Watkins says Beachy. Michelle. Okay, all right, Beachy it is, because nobody now said nothing else but Beachy. And nothing else could beat it right now. We have 30, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20 seconds left, and it's all Beachy. All right. Good place to get started. Beachy, my tea cold. I like my tea hot. I like my tea when it burns my lips. Like that tea that hot, that tea that cold. Let's start out with Beachy. All right, here we go. Boy. I think his goose is cooked, you know. So the headline starting out this morning says the crime was planned to take place at the businessman's home. Okay, then Harry and Meghan, please. Jamaican British Jamaican girl, I'll honor that. Then we'll go into Harry and Meghan next. All right. The crime was planned to take place at businessman's home. They would never. Let me show them the item. Me good. They wouldn't know that unless they listened to the tapes. But here's how it came to us. Almost a dozen of the much anticipated phone recordings, in the Everton Beachy Stout McDonald and Oscar Barnes murder trial were played in court on Wednesday, which is yesterday. Today is Thursday. The audio had the full attention of the 7-member jury as they listened to Delvalin Minor conspire with a man purported to be Beachy Stout McDonald to have a crime committed. The jurors were on the edge of their seats. I could imagine. I would have been there like this, biting my fingernail, asking for some popcorn and all that, because this is quite tantalizing. This is the part I was waiting for. Nothing else held him, nothing else connected him solidly to this case. And I was waiting for this. Minot, who's the person who was charged in connection with the murder, and he pleaded guilty for his involvement. He's the one who first gave up everybody else and took a plea deal and then turned state evidence against them. Right. Bubbler is his nickname. He said that he was the original contract killer and that he subcontracted Barnes to do the job. Remember, because him couldn't do it and him did in love with Tanya and he was getting piece of the nookie too. She was breaking him off piece of the cookie too, and he had feelings for her and he just couldn't do it to her. So he got somebody else to do it to her, and he supervised and made sure it was done to the specification of the boss man, the big man. This is how her husband wanted her killed, right? And it had to be done that specific way. So he had to sit there and watch his contract killer do it that specific way. $3 million on the table. On the recording, Minot could be heard talking to, I like how the news does this, talking to a man. They don't say it's Beachy. On the recordings, Minot could be, but he has already established with the court that this is me and him having a conversation, right? On the recordings, Minot could be heard talking to another man believed to be McDonald, and the two at times had lengthy discussions about him going to Beachy Stout's home with the intent of committing the crime, killing his wife. The voice being attributed to the businessman could be heard coaching Minot, the alleged hitman, and giving him specific he's done, and giving him specific instructions about how certain events were to unfold. The voice was heard at one point encouraging him, Minot, that he could get the job done because he was a professional. Come on, man. You can get it done. You are a professional. Hmm. On one of the recordings, both the men were heard discussing how a child had prevented an attack by Minot at the house. Yo, is a little boy sit down outside on the veranda, is what the man said to Minot in the recording. So this is Beachy saying to him, Minot, the contract killer, hold on. Is a little boy sit down on the veranda outside. Don't want him do it then. Because he's coming to do it. Yo, let me pause for a second and say this. I don't know. Could you imagine living and somebody is so after you, right? And you don't even know it, because somebody who you're so close to, and they're making attempts after attempts after attempts. Remember, a couple of times they testified that they went there to kill her, but one of the times he said, I don't know what happened. She pulled up to the house, and for some reason, she just opened the car door and sprint, run to the grill, and start bang down the grill. For those of you who are not from our place and don't know what grill is the burglar bar grills that you see very artistic looking on people's houses. They put it over the entrances. It's just an extra layer of security. So you would have to cut those off to get into the house, kind of thing, right? And people do cut them off to get into people's houses. But she ran and she banged it. She was hitting it hard. And he said that the helper came out really quickly and they had to stand down on that one. And another time when they jumped the wall and was hiding in the bushes behind the house, and the neighbors saw them. And the neighbors called Beachy and tell him, said, two man just jump over your wall and in your backyard. And then Beachy called him and said, yo, stand down. Because I just get a call from the neighbors that said two man just jumped the yard, the gate and in the backyard. Are you that? And Beachy said, and he said to him, yes, it's me. So this is one of the times that I lied to him, because at this point it was established that I was supposed to move alone. He didn't want anybody else involved, but I had already subcontracted the other guy who is on trial with him. So me carry him with me, and it's two we jumped the wall. So the neighbor had the proper information when they called him down at his business and say, yo, two man just jump your wall, and them in your backyard somewhere or something like that. And then he called him and say, yo, stand down, brother, and the people them see you already, kind of thing. So that's the first that he said, did you do it by yourself? Come tell us, say, are you alone? Me want to do it, And him say, yeah, man, I'm me alone. So him say, how the neighbor say, are two people, him say. Right? So imagine that. Imagine them coming at you constantly and you are oblivious. You don't have a clue. Anyhow, the voice had been attributed to the businessman, could be heard coaching Minot and giving him specific instructions on exactly how certain events were to unfold. The voice was heard at one point encouraging him that he could get the job done, man, because you're a professional. And on the other recordings, both men were heard discussing how a child had prevented an attack by Minot at the house. Yo, is a little boy sit down outside on the veranda. The man said to Minot in the recording. Minot replied to him, in the house? Is he inside the house? Me they watch him through the veranda, through the window, from me going there. He says, me I watch him from the window, through the window, from me go in there. I've been watching him since I went in there through the window. He's sitting on the veranda. Don't do it now, right? I guess I didn't want to commit a murder in front of a little boy, right? And for the possibilities of him being able to identify who would do it if it was to be done then. Anyway, so that was another time where it was foiled. Minot replied, him there in the house. May I watch him through the window from me going there. The man then said, me never did get to tell you, say. I find out because me never know say him there. Right. So the little boy was visiting. He wasn't at home. Minot is up there to do the job. And he's calling him to find out, or he's telling him, yo, me never know said the little boy was there at the house. He was visiting. So stand down this one, right? At one point, the man on the other end of the phone, who was supposed to be Beachy, told Minot that he could no longer carry out the act at the house. Minot has confessed all this already on the stand. So they came to a point where they decided, okay, we are going to do the murder, but it's not going to happen at the house. We made too many attempts at the house already, two of which I just explained to you. One when they jumped over the fence and the neighbors called, another one when they were parked up and hidden in the bushes, and she just, for some reason, ran straight to the thing. She normally get out and walk. You know, you're home, you're tired, you walk up your little hill, driveway into your house, knock your thing, and your helper come out and open. This day she ran for no reason. And him say him couldn't figure out why she sprints so fast, right? Maybe she didn't want to use the bathroom or something like that. And with the speed with which the helper answered, it threw them off. So they couldn't do it again. Now there's another one here where the little boy was there and he didn't know the little boy was there after he sent him there that day again. So that's 3 attempts already. So now he's deciding, all right, listen, we're not going to do this up at the house again. We have to go do this somewhere else, right? The man then said, okay, Minot replied. The man then said, me never did get to tell you, sir. I find out because me never know say him did that. At one point, the man on the other end of the phone told Minot, which is Beachy, told Minot that he could no longer carry out the act at the house. Minot was heard on numerous occasions asking the other man, presumed to be Beachy on the other end of the phone, asking him for various sums of money to buy gas and other things. The charred body of McDonald's wife was found with 10 stab wounds to her chest, and her throat was slashed on the main road in Sherwood Forest in Portland. The Toyota Axio motor car that she was driving was set ablaze and eventually it burned to a shell. Minot was subsequently arrested at his home in Portland. He subsequently implicated both Beachy McDonald and Barnes, his subcontracted killer, and gave them up to the police along with his Samsung cell phone with a SD card, which was said to contain photographs and also call recordings. He's made good on everything he said. The call recordings, the photographs, and everything have been showing up in this trial so far. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, Courtney Rowe, one of the 5 attorneys representing McDonald, during cross-examination of a detective constable, suggested to the witness that the phone that he had taken from Minot had been tampered with. Right. So now we go into you're gonna tamper with the phone and made up false evidence, and this is not him speaking on the other end of the phone. The voice might sound like I don't know if they're gonna say it's AI generated or what or whatever that is, right? I don't know if they're gonna say it's AI generated. That's not my client, but an attorney's job is to get his client off. So I expect any kind of play to go on, right? At this point, kind of seals the deal. Today they're going to be digging into more of what was said or what is, because they only did 12, and I believe they have like 100 and something of them, which came out to 25 transcripts. So they have a whole lot more to go. Now, that's sealed. That's sealed. Unless his attorneys can come up with a way to say that's not him, he's done. Portland businessman Everton Beachy Stout was heard on one of the secretly recorded conversations telling the man who he allegedly contracted to kill his wife that he should not execute the hit on a Saturday as his helper would not be home to provide him with an alibi. This is another, see what they've done with this, and this is my job, right? They have sprinkled everything over different news media outlets. For instance, the first one I just read to you came from the Jamaica Observer. The one I'm about to read to you comes from the Jamaica Gleaner. Now, I don't know why they're doing it like that, and one news media house can't just bring the entire thing, but them split it up and put piece over here and piece over there. So for people like me, it's my duty to go find all the news media houses that are following this, read all their material, and see who has something different or more to add to the base of what was there already. So that's how I mean, though. That's my thing. So Portland businessman Everton Beachy Stout McDonald was heard in one of those secretly recorded conversations telling Minot that I don't want you to do it on Saturday because my helper not gonna be home. So the helper wouldn't be able to provide me with an alibi. Right. So we have to go do it on the next day. But may I say, me can't work on a Saturday because the woman, the helper, please believe me, I can read. I'm reading it to you exactly as it was transcribed here. But may I say, me can't work on a Saturday because the woman, the helper, gone from the house from 5 o'clock on a Saturday, is what the 68-year-old said in the conversation, which was played during the trial yesterday in the Home Circuit Court. So me not have no alibi. Me not have nobody for say, yo, me never dead there. I wouldn't have an alibi. I wouldn't have anybody to say I wasn't there. The contract killer, Devlin Minot, who had recorded the conversation, chimed in and said, him never dead there? Yeah. He said, while acknowledging that he understood what Beachy was saying. Yo, patois is a whole language to itself, you know. It might sound like English to you, but for those of us who speak patois and speak the deepest patois, we can actually have a full conversation in front of you and you will swear so you understand every single thing that's going on and you will be lost as ever. This is why it's important for you to actually learn that part of your culture. I encourage people to learn that part of your culture. You understand? Right. All the people them when them talk about chat bad like this patois you hear me I talk to you right there. So I call this the mild patois because you can still understand. This is just English with an accent. This isn't really patois, right? When we gudongina, somebody be looking at you like, what the hell is gudongina? That's a whole word by itself. Gudungina, one word, gudongina, right? But those who speak that language know that. See? So shout out to our ancestors, man, for putting that together. It was put together by a specific purpose, and it was meant to mislead and distract and put people off course. So when we were planning our rebellions and when we were planning our run for freedom and all that, they wouldn't be able. We could plan it right in front of them. We would even put it in songs and we would sing and dance and clap. And they would think, oh, they're entertaining us. That time we're actually sending a message, right? The drum would speak for us, as well as the chanting over the drum would speak for us. And this is how we would send a message to the others on the other side. 12 o'clock tonight, freedom. Meet us down by the river, down there, so, and where you meet me by the river. Them think a church song we are sing for them, not true? Right. Good on, you know. They're like, what is that? Okay, skip over that part. Nice song, beautiful voice. They sing so beautifully. Yeah. And don't teach them how to write or read English as if that's the only language we could have communicated in. So it was during those times that this type of a language was developed, and it was developed out of a necessity. It was developed out of natural order plus a necessity, right? So it has a mix of Portuguese, it has a mix of English, it has a mix of Spanish, it has a mix of all the colonial masters' languages who back in them times had rulings over us. And we just mix up the whole of them something. We're so great. We just mix up the whole of fit them something and use it, confuse them back. See? But all right, back to this now. So me not have no alibi. He continued. Me not have nobody to say, yo. And then Minot said, him never dead there. Oh, all right. Never dead there. Him never dead there. Yeah. That's what he said. Right? That's what he said while acknowledging that he understood. Yeah, man. Yeah. Never did it. See? All right. Beachy Stout, who's on trial for Tanya's murder, blah, blah, blah. We hear that already. He held his head down while the recordings were played in court. He was looking at the ground. Jesus Christ. Yo, as I blow the man taking up because all along he been chest out, head up, looking directly out. His posture was good. And now he was, while the recordings were being played, this is the Jamaica Gleaner. He held his head down while all the recordings were played in court yesterday. Minot is a 48-year-old fisherman who is currently serving 19 years in prison for his role. Remember, I told y'all the justice system is a joke, but they had to get Minot and break a deal with him to get who they call the big fish, or the bigger person in all of this, the mastermind. So, but Minot said the only reason he started recording was because this man wasn't paying him. And he was like, how y'all gonna have me do something like this? And then y'all tell me about you must think so I saw $3 million easy if you come by. Easy yourself, man. He's like, what? Am I like a big clown to you? So he started gathering evidence of his own, right? And I would have too. Matter of fact, me I gather evidence from the beginning. First of all, I wouldn't be involved in anything like this. But in the event that I would be completely calculated, trying to make sure that I cover myself. Because this man can send you to do it, and then he has money and he has influence over people in positions of authority. So I could have easily flipped this on you and be like, what? I don't know what I'm talking about. I him kill my wife. All right, dash him away. So without all this proof, remember how this was looking before? It was looking like Minot was the one who orchestrated to kill Tanya on his own and was blaming it on Beachy, especially when he came out in court and said, may I tell you the truth? Me and she did have we was close like this, and then twist him finger and said like this, and they said, what you mean like this? You know, you were hired by her husband to be around her, assist her and stuff. Him said, no, me and she did inner, like we did have a thing go on. What do you mean you have a thing go on? They asked him, and he said, we did have a romantic relationship. Did y'all have sexual stuff going on? He was like, yes, multiple occasions. How many times did it happen? Too much to count, right? She even there my yard sometime when him thinks that I'm mad she get mad and gone somewhere else, like gone her mother or something. I said, wow. Wow. And you know, the Jamaican women, a lot of them, they were like, I lie the boy I tell. Cause look upon him too ugly. Look upon she too pretty. She wouldn't give him the time of the day. Hey man, listen, I don't see what you call ugly with what you call pretty already all the time. All the time. Right? And I can't help but to think that she was just counteracting, like she knew that Minot was put in place to spy on her. Cause every time she tried to go somewhere, especially after her and her husband had a fight, Beachy would send him, go with her. Right? Right? So she was like, okay, so are you in my send? Come follow me. Come see what me I do. So here what? Give him some pum pum to silence him. Him can't tell the boss nothing now because now he's getting some too, which is but it backfired, right? Now, Pussy Galore says, I don't believe that Minot. What do you mean you don't believe him? Everything the man has said has checked out so far. The only thing that we haven't seen is them having sexual intercourse. And the only reason we haven't seen that is because him probably never record that, right? Everything he has said has checked out so far. Everything. So how you not believe him? Cause y'all look on the man and said the man too ugly and she couldn't. Nah, I shame on a shame. Pussy Galore said that the woman she was spreading herself thin. She was. You know, no disrespect to the dead, but let's speak facts. Based on what is coming out, she was spreading herself thin. Yeah, and she was trying to cover her corners. Since I him put around me, I give him some too. And then when me give him some, him can't go back. This happen all the time, you know. You stay there. Man fly out of Jamaica and left brethren for watch wife, you know. And brethren go tell wife, say, yo, I mean left for watch you, you know. I'm there, I watch you still. Me supposed to collect evidence, like if you go out with nobody and them kind of something there, and make him know. The woman not do nothing more than say, oh, really? All right then. So what with me and you? And fling some some tuntun give him to. And when she done give him to him, stop tell brethren anything. All him a tell brethren is what she want brethren to know. All right. So this is a game that's been played. Maybe you are just innocent. Maybe you don't know about them ropes here. But this is a typical game that's played. All right. All right. So bitches, some tuntun. So, yo, me and Shakira did a go over some all words where we use punash. Beg a little punash now. And some tuntun. What's some of the other words we use? Saltin. That's really old. Matter of fact, I've heard that more with Antigua and Barbudan people. They call it saltin. All kind of name we have for it, man. Punny. Yo, she give me like a punny, you know. Punny. Me I beg her like a punny. Punny, pum pum, pon, tun tun. Lord God. But yeah, not to degrade her or anything, but this is pertinent information according to the case and the discussion of this case. So we put that information in there, right? That is a regular in Jamaica. BM says, yeah, brethren, ask brethren, yo, dog, when I'm gone, when I fly out, cause wifey papers not come through yet, seen, and them a move slow, but when I fly out, when I keep an eye on things to me, so I say, make sure no man now go up in my yard and them kind of something. Them they are foreigner work out, them soul case hard. Make sure say things are established and wife is good at home and everything is good. And them like a brethren down the road is supposed to be watching to make sure say him not do nothing, wife is not doing nothing. So I'm calling brethren every now and then. Yo, you see Keisha? Yeah, man, she good, man. You know, say I do nothing out of the way. No, man, she good girl, man, a good girl. Boy, she work hard still, brother. Yeah, man, only thing me see she do, she always there with her son, And him say, yeah, him there foreign can beat up him chest and feel proud. Right. Him not know say Keisha don't link, our brethren don't link Keisha. That's why friend, friend is friend is something. You see, Keisha done him, friend done expose him. Cause friend been want some. Cause friend I said, Jesus, guys, look how Keisha around. The batty does. The two batty draw them look like them talk to each other one time. Them might look like two pussy fight in our bag when Keisha walk. Watch it. Blood fire, watch out. Yo, I want some of that, He start engineering a way to get in there. Keisha, come here and tell you something. You know what I say? Why? I don't carry business or nothing, but the other day when Marky fly out, you see, him tell me, say, I'm me if you watch you, Yeah, man, and him call back all the time and ask me, what you do if you do nothing and them something there. God forbid Keisha is not a straight woman and Keisha is one of those women who she's doing her thing. Now she find out that she's being watched. Oh, shit. How am I going to get around this? All right. So she just fling some on him because why else would he come tell her that? He's not being loyal to his friend. And from she fling some on him, he's implicated in a crime. Him no want him friend who say he's getting some of what the friend told him to watch when one bag of mix up, One bag half mix up. So with that said, he's good. Him they are foreign, Marky they are foreign only hear what Keisha wants him to hear because Keisha is flinging the thing upon him and then telling him what to say to him. So she own the whole scene now. That time him no say Keisha have our next man I yard and anytime Marky fly out, him and Keisha apart, but he'll never know that. Cause now he's sworn to secrecy through the pum pum and him can go get some of the pum pum every now and then. Yeah, you better give me some Friday else. Me I tell Marky everything. Well, me I tell him say, I get some too. Everybody caught up now. Everybody caught up now. Jaja God. There you dare not trust your own man. Friend and family, may I tell you about. So Beachy Stout now, who's on trial for the wife of for his wife Tanya's murder, along with his co-defendant Oscar Barnes, he held his head down in court while the recordings were being played. He was looking at the floor. Minor, who is 48 years old, a fisherman currently serving 19 years in prison. For his role, previously testified that Beachy hired him and wanted to pay him $3 million that he subcontracted Barnes to split the money to get the murder done. According to him, he later lured Tanya, who he claimed was his lover also, to a deserted main road in Sherwood Forest, Portland, and he watched and he observed and he instructed as she was stabbed and killed by Barnes and her car seat was set ablaze. The partially burnt body of the 32-year-old businesswoman was found with her throat slashed, and we already know that, multiple stab wounds to the chest. Minot also told the trial that he had secretly recorded conversations that he had with Beachy and handed them over to the police on his Samsung phone when the police raided his home and took him into custody shortly after the woman's murder. Missed calls. The businessman, Mr. Everton Beachy Stout McDonald, he made the point about the alibi after he had contacted Minot, expressing how upset he was at Minot for missing one of his phone calls while using a whole lot of expletives. BBC, RC, PC. If you're not Jamaican and you're listening, that means bomba clot, ras clot, pussy clot. He was very upset that he missed the phone call. I call you about 100 times. I'm not get you, he said to Minot, who assured him repeatedly that he could not let it happen again. He would not let it happen again. All right, boss. All right, boss. Calm down. I'm not going to make it happen again. I make sure I answer the phone every time you call. Beachy Stout, in that conversation, explained to Minot that he was calling him to tell him that his wife was heading home. And you could have done it then, but you never answered the bomber clot phone. Oh man. Beachy Stout, while impressing upon Minot the importance of their communication and keeping the communication tight, he warned him not to go to the house unless he gave him the green light. Do not go up at the house unless me give you the green light. Right. Beachy Stout said this was important as persons might be home, while reminding Minot of the instances when he did go there already and the helper's nephew was there, and also when he called him to tell him that the gardener would also be at the home. So you see, people did it sometimes, so you have to get the green light from me before you can go up there. I don't want you just go up there by yourself just so, because you might run into people who up there, right? We must reason. We must talk. When I call you, I must get you. Just like that. I'm boy. Beachy Stout was further heard telling Minot that he needed to speak with him so that he could know whether the children were in the house or whether Beachy Stout had taken them out of harm's way. In other words, then, have some picnic up there sometime, so you have to go know first from me if me move them out of the way so you can do what you have to do, because I don't want it done with the picnic them in the house. Minot, for his part, reassured Beachy Stout that he understood. All right, boss. All right. He understood that he would be sure to have his walkie-talkie phone with him and that it was charged at all times. So when he calls him, he will get him and he will definitely answer every time he calls. All right. Dede first and Dede last, Minot said repeatedly. Beachy Stout, while indicating that they were both professionals, told Minot to remember that he had men from town on his payroll as well. So I think he was trying to scare Minot here, but he was telling him on the phone as well, remember, so I have some man from town for my payroll too, you know. I don't know what that means. That means if you don't get the job done, I'll just get them to get the job done. Or if you try cross me, I'll get them to take care of you. I don't know what that means, but that's what was said here. Further in the conversation, both men discussed when would be an appropriate time for Minot to make his move, with Minot assuring Beachy Stout that he was at the home every night at 8:30 p.m. lying in wait of his wife. Me there around there about 8:30 every evening. Wait panar. So you just said the word, I make the move. Beachy, on the other hand, was heard telling Minot that he needed to give him at least half an hour to 45 minutes to leave when his wife left. Ross. In another conversation, the men were heard discussing a failed attempt by Minot on Tanya's life. Minot said that he could not proceed to Tanya. On arriving at the home this time, she drove the vehicle straight inside, and the helper rushed out to let her in, and she dashed inside. That's the one I told you all about before. It comes up. See? This is what y'all got to see. The man done confess them something here before the recording was even put out. Now that the recording is being played and we're hearing it exactly how he described it when he testified, is a solid friggin' case. I don't know if there's anything that Beachy lawyers can do to get him out of this, other than it was AI generated, because that's not my client's voice. I don't know. Well, in a conversation, Minot was heard telling Beachy Stout that his son. In another conversation, Minot was heard telling Beachy Stout that his son, and the driver went to lie in wait for Tanya. It was a team effort. No mention was made of Barnes. Oscar Barnes is the one who was said to have done it. But in the conversations, Barnes' name still not come up yet. No mention was made of Barnes. Barnes is the ghost. But Minot had explained earlier in the trial that Beachy Stout had warned him to do the hit alone. That's why I've never mentioned Barnes anywhere. Defense lawyer Vince Wellesley, however, had suggested that Minot's son was the one that was involved in the murder, and that Minot had struck a deal with the police to free his son, but that this was denied by the chief investigator. The trial will continue today, which is Thursday, with cross-examination by the defense lawyers. What a combolombo. So everybody's attorney's job is to get them off. Beachy Stout, him get sink. Him can't get off of this. The most they could do now is cop a deal, probably, if one's available. It's Jamaica, so one could be still available. Swing some money around somewhere, get a reduced sentence. I don't know. But him can't get out of this. Barnes, on the other hand, could possibly still get out of this, because now Barnes' attorney is saying, are your son, are you and your son do it to collect the $3 million? But you make a deal, and the deal was you would implicate somebody else and free your son. Because you know why you and your son get a life sentence at the same time, right? And that is very, I mean, come on, all you have to do is actually create this kind of a doubt, and then it will leave the jurors scratching their head like, well, there could be a possibility, because I wouldn't want my son go to prison with me for, life sentence, murder. So, yeah, me, that point my finger upon somebody else too. Because up till now, Barnes still has not been mentioned in any of this, right? Right. 30 million to split so many ways on a credit. Marvin the point, Jamaica Kerr. Exactly. 30 million Jamaican dollars to split so many ways. And them doing it on a credit. That's crazy. That's crazy. But hey, that's the update for the Beachy Stout. Quite suspenseful. When this is all over with, let me close this part by saying this before I move on to the other topic. When this is all over with, I seriously hope that somebody who is Jamaican, who is into the arts, film, could turn these stories into a movie. Me would all go play one part. Me don't know. Me can play Bubbler, or I could play Barnes. I don't know, but I play one of these parts. I would love to be a part of that project. Wow. Jamaica is festive. Jamaica is always keeping. We don't need cable and Netflix, my friend. Our life every day is cable and Netflix. Not true? Anyhow, moving right along. At request, we must now talk about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry as they popped up. As they popped up in Jamaica for the premiere of the Bob Marley movie. Bubble up in the sauce. Yo, Rush J, that behave yourself. I prefer you say it now. I mean, right? Hey, check out Rush J that comment. Rush J that said bubble up in a sassy belly. I true. I true. Bubble. You're on God. You run, God. Now, man, come back, man. Bubble up in assassin belly. Jesus Christ. I hope our mother now watch this. Oh, God, we hold away, go to hell. Uh, people, try live a life that is good, okay? Because when time you're gone, people are gonna have all kind of something to say about you, and you don't want any of it to be true. All right? Windows, Microsoft summary. I don't know why this pop up on my screen. Good morning, SouFlo and family. Diane McFarlane, thank you for being here. Jaja God. All right. Listen, you know that here is how Andrew Holness is described in the UK in a paper that is called The Telegraph. It says that let me draw this up. Here's his picture with the already a subscriber. Log in to continue. Start your free trial. Cancel anytime. Them now give you the whole story, so I'm not gonna get the story from somewhere else. But it says the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have attended a film premiere in Jamaica with Andrew Holness, the island's prime minister, who had made it clear that he wants to break away from the monarchy. Me no know. I sense some kind of game being played here. Karen Notice, big up yourself. Lovely Anika, thank you for being here. How come me not getting a notification that you are live? Because that's how they do us. That's how they do us. Rash Jade and not behaving ourselves this morning. Uh, bubble up in a sassy belly. Jesus Christ. Anyhow, this is how they describe Andrew Holness. Harry and Meghan pose with anti-monarchist Jamaican Prime Minister. Anti-monarchist Jamaican Prime Minister. Andrew go over there. Andrew kiss them ass. Him bow down before the Queen. I think he went back again. He met with the King after the King become King. I'm not sure if he did that actually. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I just don't want to misspeak, but he did. So Andrew always over there give them respect and everything. Seen? And now he's on their paper as anti-monarchist because he expressed that he wanted to separate from the crown. We no longer wanted to be your indentured servant and your plantation, sir, kind of thing. But and if y'all remember the video when Andrew Holness said that, he looked like he was under stress and duress. And for a man that was much older than the youth that he was talking to, telling him that that's what his plan was to do, it kind of did look like he was afraid. You know, when picnic do something bad and you catch them, and now they have to explain to you as an adult, and them are like, well, me did go in the fridge cause me did hungry, daddy, and me, no, it's never me broke I know me broke the plate, daddy. It's but and you know they're like, didn't I tell you to not go in the refrigerator? Ask for help, Jordan. What did I say about going in the refrigerator? And you're there, yes, yes, daddy. Okay, I won't do it again. That's the kind of that's the kind of energy I got from Andrew Holness when he was saying. And to me, he was only saying that because it will fare good when election time is coming. If you ask me if Jamaica is going to separate from the crown, the answer is no. If you ask me if Jamaica should separate from the crown, I'm waiting for something to happen first for me to actually say yes or no. Because there are things that could be happening behind the scenes that's not in our best interest. You understand? So something is going to happen that's going to play out, that's going to tell me if a data go on. And if a data go on, then I say separate from the crown. But if it's not that Taguan, then stay with them because we have no other recourse, no checks and balances. Until we could put reliable checks and balances in place, then we're probably gonna have to be stuck with the crown. So they show up in Jamaica, and I made a comment, and I said on the comment that I said Bob Marley must be. I said Bob Marley must be. A whole lot of people came for me, but what I realized was it was specifically Jamaican black women, not Jamaican. Some of them are British, but with Jamaican background. But they came for me, boy, and they came for me hard. Right? Pause. They came for me hard. They were like, "Oh, please, SouFlo. He's not even a part of the royalty or the royal family anymore. He's just a regular guy now." and they gave up. No, King Bigs, no why not in that. When me I talk about woman and they came for me, and that's fine. No why not in that. But so yeah, they're these all these women, all these black women came for me, telling me how come off of the man name, man. Leave him alone. He's not a part of that. He had nothing to do with anything. I said, this was my comment, so you understand why they were lashing out. My comment said, one of them said, the royals are in Jamaica. And I said, okay, did they come with our reparations? Like, did they bring our reparations? One woman, SouFlo, this is not the time or the place. I said, okay, yes, sir, massa. I was gonna sit and be good boy. And when you says times and place, massa, I'll be good, and then I'll go there, massa. Yeah. Cause me don't know. Did they arrive with our reparations? I mean, what's the excitement about? I don't know. Me not look upon them the same way y'all look at them. See? And then, of course, the rest of them, I don't know why you're saying all that. I said Bob Marley must be turning in his grave. Oh, the irony. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Hello? Look at this. Hello? This person been calling my phone all morning. The whole time in there I do the show, this person I call repeatedly over and over and over. I don't know who it is. You ever get them calling when them call your phone, beam, 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 you don't answer. When you finally answer the phone, they just don't say nothing for the like 60 seconds of silence before they goes, this is Teresa Hopwell, and I'm calling on behalf of the Breast Cancer Society. Yeah, man, fuck cancer and fuck you too. Come off on the phone. You know what I mean? Like, why you call so many times and then when I answer, you say nothing? We're just for the cancer donation for yeah. I don't like cancer neither, but me was not like you right now neither. Damn. Anyhow, throw me off. Back to what we were doing before. I said Bob Marley must be turning in his grave right now. No, Mr. Bob Marley must have on a big spliff and just a laugh to himself right now. Like, what is this? You know, what is this? Some of the stuff I really want to say concerning Bob Marley, the premiere of the movie, his children, especially one particular one. Me now go get into it because I see Buju Banton made a comment the other day and while them fly down and pitch on him very hard. And then I seen Buju went into silence after. So that tells me let's go and hush hush and go through still, but pre what's happening. Let me tell you something, right? And let me be very realistic with you. And let me tell you the true truth. You know, Jamaican women, especially, they have a saying that, oh, Jamaican man them love a white woman them. But they never tell you how much they worship white men. And the more I'm growing and knowing and seeing, observing throughout life, like they really believe that that's the sauce. That's the, you've arrived and achieved if you could get one of them kind of thing, right? So when Harry flies in and them see Harry with Meghan, who has like a couple of drops of black blood, they're like, "Ooh, the possibilities are high that there's a Harry waiting out there for me somewhere." You know, someone from a royal family who's wealthy and he's gonna pick me kind of thing. And then I'll be a good wife and I'll be a good wife to a Harry. And it's like, and maybe if him and her break up, then he'll pick another one of us. Or maybe we can share him. Does he have a brother? It kind of dawned on me, especially when the Cubans were seen in Jamaica. And the Jamaican woman under the comment section was like, no, send them back. Uh, besides the ones who said, they're probably highly skilled people because that's how Cuba is set up. That everybody, even if you're poor, you're still gonna get an education and you're still gonna have a skill or something. So them now come do nothing but work and contribute to Jamaica, right? Right. Here goes the Bugoyaga one them though. Oh, me like that one day. I wonder if him have a brother. Next one said me have him already. Send him come to my yard. Me feed him and take care of him. And so I was like, where's the same energy for the Haitians when they come in? Send them back. Them black are ugly in a blood clot and them now come here with nothing but obia and crosses. Send them back. We have enough problems already. We don't need them. And I said, yo, so how you know says not some highly skilled Haitians that were coming in? and them a try escape while going over there so and do better life for them family somewhere else. Yeah, just looking at them as them come off of the boat, them black and ugly like what, send them back. Them not come with nothing but obia and crosses. I said, jeez. And the amount of comments that were siding with that. You see what I'm saying? So when time Harry now fly, when Harry flying yesterday, oh, I see them over themselves, I trip over themselves. Oh gosh, he's here, they're here, but he's here, kind of thing. Listen to me. Bob Marley. If you study Bob Marley didn't give no ras about no monarchy. Okay? And this is no disrespect to monarchy. This is me speaking about what I observed that Bob Marley stood for. Bob Marley gave no fucks about the monarchy. Bob Marley gave no love to any oppressive regime or kingdoms that were established through oppression and that still held and wielded power over people who were oppressed. Bob Marley was not that. So whoever afraid to come talk it today, it's sad that his children can't say that he was not that. And I understand why they can't. Because they have to commercialize Bob in order to increase the income. You understand? So that they can get their money's worth out of the legacy. I'm a straight talker. If you know why your truth don't come to me, they have to commercialize their daddy. So we have to go venture off into Bob Marley's marijuana, Bob Marley rolling paper, Bob Marley clothing line, Bob Marley this, Bob Marley that, Bob Marley museum, Bob Marley boat ride, Bob Marley condoms, Bob Marley birth control, Bob Marley breathe by tomorrow morning pills, Bob Marley this, Bob Marley that. But they have to do it. Bob Marley the movie, next thing you know, Bob Marley 1,500 other things, products and stuff, because that's what the world is today. And that is what sells today. That is how the money is generated today. You understand? So them have to do that. So when people come who Bob used to sing against and stand up against, when they come and put on a new face on the same old regime and fool everybody who is new, Bob wouldn't have stood for that. He wouldn't have stood for that. So shout out to the people who said to me, they are not even a part of the monarchy, SouFlo. So I don't even know what you're talking about. They separated themselves, and that's why the rest of the royal family don't like him. And he left, and he's doing his own thing. This is from England. The Duke and the Duchess attends. Okay. So if they had separated themselves, this is the Duke and the Duchess of Sussex. That's their title. So if they had separated themselves, they would have never be wearing that title. See? And I mean, I understand the philanthropic work that his mom did while she was alive and all kind of something on the suspicious conditions under which she exited Earth and all kind of thing like that. But what better way to spin things than to put a fresh new face on it? See, everything don't fly over me. Me understand certain things. Okay, the monarchy is getting old. People are getting tired of this. People are actually looking more at our past in modern day times and holding it against us. We need to paint ourselves in modern day media as good people who always cared and loved and are human and loving, genuine, beautiful people, and we mix with others and so throw Meghan in there. And then he'll be the one chosen. We go on with the marriage then. And then, yeah, send them out into the world. This is the new face. It's a biracial face. Everybody is involved. Hold hands and sing kumbaya kind of thing. No, me want reparations. That's what me want. So when they land in Jamaica, that's the first thing me ask about on my platform. Did they come with our reparations? Because if them never come with the reparations, me don't want to hear nothing else. And that's where my feelings is at about them. You understand? Whoever else want to romanticize them and look upon him and say, boy, that could have my man too, I want a white man like that, and he's so nice and he's so handsome and so beautiful. That's your business. Me not look, man. Right? So I may have woman already, so me no want she neither. So but our reparations me I deal with. And let's be real about it. But that's all I gotta say about that. I'm not gonna go on any further. And how funny the movie premieres right around election time when Andrew give away everything, you know, and then boom, he has royal support. And they're standing together in a picture. The people them who worship them I go worship Andrew no Kafim links is royal. Because the Jamaican newspaper does not say anti-monarch prime minister. The Jamaican newspaper says the royals have landed. Yeah, so this is like, ooh, Andrew friends have landed. They're friends, the royal family, and all that. And it plays into their psyche. You understand? It plays into their psyche. I'll close off by saying it like this. When I tell people that the image of a white Jesus is very damaging to black people, they don't understand. Nah, SouFLoTV don't have nothing to do with image. Because God is a spirit and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Shut up. It has everything to do with it. When a black child is being raised and a black child sees an image that you keep telling him that is your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, that is your God Almighty, right? And if you don't worship him, you're going to hell in a handbasket where your soul will burn forever. And the little youth grow up psychologically thinking, this is God. Don't you know that when that youth go out into the world, the youth start to see people will look like that man there, will not look like him, and he starts to associate because the same book tells us you're made in his image and his likeness. As the youth gains consciousness, the youth is going to say to himself, but me not look like them. So I guess at them, I figured people because them making an image and his likeness and me not making a film image and likeness, we look different, right? So I guess these are the representation of him on earth. So I must always be subservient to these people because these people look like Jesus and more than me. That's how damaging that thing is. So now it translates into real life, into where when they see white men, they're like, oh, he's Lord and Savior type. If a white boy just grow him here long, him look like Jesus, see? Him look like that. Not true. Kerry, come look. Him look like Jesus, man. Him look like God Almighty. Yeah? And that's the same reason why they go around not knowing that white people live in poverty overseas, for the ones who have never traveled before, not knowing that all of them not rich, more of them poor than there are rich, not knowing that they have flaws too, like regular people and all that. In a lot of them minds, there are perfection. Those are the image of perfection for them. You understand? So it's a damaging Ross image that translates all the way over to now. Let me stop talk about that right there. So because something else I want to discuss in the next 8 minutes we have left as I exit the building this morning. I'm going to let you for walk with this. Two things. One, the narrative that is being pushed today, which I think we could definitely segue right into. The narrative that is being pushed today, black people, you're the ones that sold your own people into slavery. So you don't have nobody else to blame. What a rascal atrocity. What a slap in the face. What a way of victimizing a people and then turning around and blaming the people for being their own victimizers of themselves while washing your hands clean as you rewrite history in their face. And the frigged up thing about it is there are a lot of black people that are buying into this story, this narrative. If you study history, you will know that slavery has always been around. And the walk with this, I'm going to run through it. Story, you will know that if you study history, you'll know that slavery has always been around. If you study African history, even before Africa was called Africa, let's go way back, you will understand that since the beginning of time, we have always had tribes that warred against tribes. Africa is a continent, not a country, with 50 odd countries in it, right? So we had tribes that warred against other tribes all the time. We are warring people, believe it or not. That's why I tell you, say, in Jamaica, it's in their blood. People are talking about why them so aggressive, and the Jamaicans be wanting to fight. Yo, I don't really mess with them like that because they, and the Haitians too, they be turning up because it's in their blood, because it's a specific set of people that was taken from a specific region, mostly in Africa, that were put into these places. You understand? Now, that DNA still runs in you. That's why you can be nice and calm 1 minute and somebody says something and lick your chip and you boom up the whole place like mad smaddy, right? We've always been warring against each other. Here's the difference I want you to understand today. Yes, we sold them into slavery. Our people sold others into slavery, but our definition of slavery was never like what chattel slavery is. This is the breakdown right here. We would catch our enemies in war, in combat, and when we caught them, it was our duty to take over their place, take over them woman and these things, breed up them woman, just like the lion does on the plain. But we would have them in servitude, in indentured servitude. So they had a chance to work their way back out, back to freedom. And when we're done with them, we say, go on back over, so go back to your people. They were left with their religious beliefs or their perception of who God is. They were left with their ancestral names intact. They were left with everything about them intact. So they were not a damaged people. They were just caught in combat, right? Now, what the white people did when they came was they realized Hutu, Zulu fighting against each other. They did divide and conquer. Yo, let's go in. Let's side with the Zulus or let's side with the Hutus and give them some brand new kind of weapons. We got guns busting. Them uncle have spear and sword and them something there. So give this side what we need and have them wipe out that side. And then once they do, we control them because the land is what we really want. Because if we lift them up off of this Ross land, you know how many diamonds and gold and all other kind of precious minerals and stuff is under it. So they did that. And once they did that, so when they came, right? When they came as friends first, and we were warring. So we would take our enemies that we had captured in battle and we would give them to them. The promise was, we're building a new world across the waters and we need labor. They will be able to work and earn and take care of their families, and then they will be back. Once the people started to realize that nobody was coming back, is when the people started saying, hey man, we don't want to do no more deals with you. Yeah, we don't want no more of your trinkets. We're not doing no more escapes. None of the people you brought over there came back. This is when they said, okay, well, fuck it. We taken by force then. Then the guns came out. I'm watching a documentary, and the British commander, when they were about to run down on the Zulus, with Shaka Zulu's specific group of Zulus, he said, you know, they lost from the beginning because they had spears. This is him talking. He said they had spears and knives and, you know, blades and arrows and stuff like that. We had guns. So we moved on the darkness and we surrounded them. And he said, man, they set up their fire and they sang so beautifully. We laid low and listened to them sing for hours. And then we ran down and attacked them as the dawn broke for morning to come. They weren't ready. Them they tired already from staying up all night singing, right? And that was them being spiritual about they singing, getting ready for combat, right? But that shit didn't work because we're wickeder than that. Fuck your singing, we come to kill, right? And that's what we do. We plunder. So we coming in with your guns. You raise that spear, I'm shooting your face off. And then they went in there like that. And then they started taking. So there was no more, oh, let's do a deal. And you said, so yes, we were a part of that for a minute, until we realized what the hell was going on. So for those of you who don't understand that part of the story, and they want you to walk around here thinking you were the cause of your own oppression and that chattel slavery shit that happened in your history, don't buy that. Don't buy that. This is how the story happened. With that said, though, we're at the top of the hour with 2 minutes left, and let me address something else real quick. A rumor could get out of control really easily, or even just a thought, a suggestion being made loud. I'm very careful with how I put information out on this channel. While we were having a conversation day before yesterday, talking about Melissa and her funeral and Jolly and Silvera, one of our subscribers said, because SouFLoTV said, well, you know, it's funny that no one is able to tell us where the bullet holes entered the body. One of our subscribers said, why, SouFLo, if we're not able to tell after looking over the whole body, then it was probably in one of her lower orifices. Me now read the comment and said one of her lower orifices. Oh my God, so you mean saying our body hole or in our pum pum man shooter? You see, people out there, they watch us, right? And then they take off some of what we say and then they spin it into a whole story. So now they're out there saying, Yo, SouFlo, me here say in our pum pum the man shoot her, that's why you can't find no entrance wound on our body, you know, bullet and nothing like that. And then 15 people show up yesterday on the channel who listen to these people who do that and said the same thing. Why you think I asked all 15 of them yesterday, where did you get this information from? Just tell me who told you this. What credible source gave you this information? Cause me want to know all of the details of the story too. Maybe they could point me in a direction where I could read it and it says, "Yep, the autopsy report says blah blah blah," and this was not one of them answered back. And not one of them answered back because they all know that it's foolishness and friggery and it's being passed around and they're being a part of passing around that information. Now, if it comes out that that's what it is, then that is what it is. But let's be understandingly clear that it started here and it only started when one subscriber said, well, if you can't find the pan the body, then it must have been in one of the lower orifices. Okay? So it came from here. In closing this morning, I'll say this because we're at the top of the hour. One more thing towards that case. Somebody said, SouFlo, a doctor can pronounce somebody dead, but the doctor don't need to see any bullet wounds or what killed the person to pronounce them dead and to say cause of death. Are you slow? Are you slow? Let me break this down for you. A doctor is required to pronounce somebody dead. A doctor can pronounce somebody dead without seeing bullet wounds or knife chop or whatever. But a doctor cannot state a person died from A, B, C, natural causes, heart attack, gunshot, anything until after an autopsy is completed. That's the only way you will know what killed the person, right? People have been shot before, and when autopsy done, the autopsy said it wasn't the bullet that killed the person. The person died from fright. They were so frightened, their heart gave out. Right. So no doctor can take a body and just say, oh, she died of natural causes. And then later we find 3 bullets, at least 3 in her. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So be careful how you take in this information and what you do with it and what people out there are saying and whose information you run with. A doctor is required to pronounce somebody dead. A doctor cannot straight off the bat the same day him pronounce somebody dead just say she died and she died of natural causes. When Melissa got killed, they said that off the bat she died of natural causes. And I said, how did they get to that without an autopsy? How do you know it was natural causes without an autopsy? And boom, the autopsy came back and said 3 bullet fragments were found in her. So she was shot at least 3 times. Even then, the autopsy goes deeper, and the information within the autopsy would tell us exactly how she died. 1 bullet went up this way, separated this from that. Internal bleeding occurred at a rapid rate. The next one lodged in her cranium, destroyed this part of her brain, did that and that, but did not exit out the skull. Da da da. She died from A, B, and C specifically. That's how it's done. All right. So nobody have no loose conversation with people who just talk stuff just to sensationalize a story. Yo, she get shot in her pussy in her body hole in a dog. A wicked people them you know. Yo, the man that dead you know. Me wanna know who is the doctor that pronounced her dead and who is the doctor that pronounced her dead and then said she died of natural causes. That's what I want to know first. And for second, I want to know where the hell are the entrance points on the body. And I want to know from a reliable source, not from anybody remixing our suggestions or our hypothetical information over here and talking about, yo, me say, I'll be there, you know. Chill. We don't do that over here. All right. With that said, though, man, manners and respect to each and every one of you tuning in. We got to cover all topics this morning, lively, spiritly, in a not boring way. And I appreciate y'all for that. All right. Go out there and have a wonderful day. Be the best you that you can be today. And I will catch you tomorrow right here on Morning Thoughts. God spare my life. Walk good. I'm out. Peace.